Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. In today's video, I want to go over my experience with Soulcross District, as well as one of the hardest bosses and stages that I've had to run into so far. I'm going to try to break it down as easily as possible for you guys to understand, and hopefully you guys can beat it too. So first, let's jump into the Cursed City. So I think our overall expectations for this was a little bit surprising. First, it was very easy in Cobble Market when we first entered, and then as we entered into Dead Rise and Plague Home, so the two middle districts, actually, it was still not too bad. You didn't really have to do too much. Maybe if your roster was a little bit thin, you started having a little bit of trouble, but overall it still wasn't too bad. But as you enter Soulcross, it's actually quite challenging, even for somebody with an end game player with a pretty developed roster. These two stages here, I think I'm going to have some pretty big problems with. So as you can clearly see here, I don't really have much of a roster. I'm going to level like a second Soulbound to 60 and probably Yannicka to 60, and then we'll try to run it. But I couldn't even get through the first wave with this, as well as this level. I just don't have the champions leveled up. But I'll be working on that all month. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be working on. But the stage that I'm going to be talking about here today is actually this stage. The Soulcross level 9 Sand Devil stage. It's actually incredibly difficult depending on what you have on your roster. But I want to go over some champions that will help you in your quest to try to beat this. Because you have to get through the Sand Devil to get into Soulcross. There's no other way. It is the main one. Of course, you have to beat these other levels, but this is the main boss that you have to get through. The Iron Twins is another beast in itself. But if you guys like, I'm using Demitha. Demitha is actually really strong for Iron Twins, but here this is the main one where you're gonna get into the bulk of all the stages. You have to get through this one. So against this boss, the key champion here is Pythion. The key champion here is Pythion. I'm using my basic arena Pythion. I mean, obviously my basic arena Pythion is still pretty strong. He has over 110k HP. He's about 250 speed, so he's very strong. And if you have a Pythion, definitely gear him up in this way. If you have regeneration gear, that helps out a bit because you don't rely on other champions to re-gear him up, for example. I think if you give him War Master, he would perform well as well. You could give him Guardian gear, any kind of healing set gear. You could give him, you could even give him like Toxic set gear. Like I use Stone Skin. I don't need to use Stone Skin, but anytime of Toxic gear will probably give you extra damage. So the way it works is that it's the same mechanics with this boss, right? So when he attacks, he'll slowly chip away at your max HP, but when he's sleeping, you need to heal up so you can regain your max HP, so you're not easily defeated when he does his AoE. So when he does his big AoE that kills basically anything, this Pythion actually survives with decent amount of HP. So 110k HP, manages to survive. 100k HP probably can still survive too. In terms of speed and gearing and that, this boss is only 200 speed. So it's actually not as crazy as like the Sand Devil 25, for example. He's only 200 speed, so you want to at least keep pace with the devil, so at least 200 speed on your Pythion. So if you have to sacrifice speed for HP, do that. Pythion will basically only use his revive after the Sand Devil wipes the team, and then you can heal up, regain your max HP, and that's kind of the way that Pythion supports your team. So Pythion goes here, and then the way to do damage in this team is basically find an HP burn champion. So for this restriction, there's actually a couple that might work. So we're looking for HP burn champions here. My eyes, where are they? There we go. Sorry. So here we go, guys. So here's your HP burn champions: Mordecai, a Skrank, Carnelia, Cupidus. So I mean, you have some options. Mordecai is the most accessible option. So this was the Mordecai that I was using. 200 speed, you know, give him enough HP to survive a couple of these smaller AoEs so that he dies, so that he makes it to the big AoE. Although that's not really that important as long as he is able to cycle back to his HP burn. The recommended accuracy for this boss is 375, so make sure you guys gear him with proper accuracy. I don't have any masteries on him, no need. Literally, he's a fresh 60, he's level 38. Cupidus also works. I totally forgot that he had HP burn on his in his kit, so I didn't actually use Cupidus, but Cupidus totally works. So what I found with this boss is that you basically bring Mordecai. Mordecai is going to be DPS, so I'm going to show you guys how it's done, but I don't want to go through a whole run because it does actually take some time and it obviously takes some manualing. And I was able to do it with one Shamail. Shamail brings some DPS. So I was able to do it one Shamail, and I was able to do it with one Ugo, and then my 5th champion was actually Shamrock. Personally, I don't think Shamrock was super necessary here, so you can definitely replace Shamrock with a second Shamail or a second Ugo, although I think a second Shamail would probably be better. Let's try with the second Shamail here, and accuracy aura in all battles is totally fine. I'll show you guys how it kind of works. So let's jump into it. So when he's in this, so if you guys have ever done Sand Devil, you guys are probably familiar. If you guys are at this stage in the game, Soulcross level 9, you guys are probably familiar with Sand Devil. But if you guys are not familiar with Sand Devil, basically you want to debuff him when he's asleep. And then you can deal some extra damage to him when the debuffs are still on. But he's going to come out of those debuffs pretty quickly. That's why it's important to be faster than him. So 200 speed or more. Most of my champions are 200 to 250 speed. So just naturally. So I don't have to worry too much about that requirement. So we're going to get a go. We're going to go first. Just, you know, hit him with our A1s. We're not going to be doing a lot of damage. He has a big damage reduction when he's in his... you know, when he's in his normal form. So he's gonna kill everybody except for Pythion. Usually he kills Mordecai here, but I guess he weak hit. He is a strong affinity, Mordecai. So Pythion, he doesn't need to be in Stone Skin, right? So if he's 100k HP, he can probably survive the AoE hit, and then he just revives everybody. So once everybody revive, you want your Ugo to basically cleanse or heal. This is a team heal, right? So team heal, that will restore your max HP on all your whole team. Okay, and now you want to debuff him. So now he has decreased defense. So what you want to do here with Shamail, if you use his triple hit, you might trigger, you might cause him to wake up, because my Shamails have War Master and they have like Phantom Touch. So you don't want War Master, Phantom Touch, Giant Slayer, because they'll trigger extra hits when he's in sleep form. So what I do is I just do A1, A1, and then Mordecai will come in. So my Relentless just procced. So my Mordecai will come in. So there's some things that might mess it up, but your main damage comes from HP burn. So you want to place the HP burn. So he's going to wake up now. All right. So in this case, we didn't get a chance to hit him while he had the decreased defense. I think when I hit him with the A1 with Pythion, that probably was not the correct move. I probably should have just cleansed, which probably makes more sense. So just cleansing probably just makes more sense there, and then I would have been able to have a turn with my Shamails with the A2. I'll show you guys again. Let's get back to the cycling. So here, you just need to survive until you can cycle back to your main abilities. You don't need to heal them that much if they can survive without them, without heals. And Pythion, if Pythion is relatively healthy, he will survive the AoE as well. So we'll just get back to it. Okay, so the next hit, he should be able to wipe everybody out. And we don't need to use any of the cooldowns. We're just A1ing. It's A1, A1. Alright. So you see here, Pythion survived the big AoE relatively comfortably. He had some max HP removed from him. But this is how the proper cycle should happen. You revive. You use Ugo. She must team heal. So that cleanses some of the max HP off. The main person to get it off is Pythion. You have to make sure the max HP is off of him. A1. A1. The extra turn from my Relentless is actually really bad here. You notice that it's down to 1 already. Okay. So, team heal here and then debuff. So, something didn't go right because of obviously the extra hits from my Shamails. But you kind of get the idea of how this is going to work. Without the extra Relentless hits, basically the Sand Devil will wake up with decreased defense, and then you can hit him with the A2 for more damage. So instead of dealing like 4k damage, you're dealing like 30-40k damage. Alright, so let's try that again. So basically we just do this until the Sand Devil is dead. So I'll show you guys my another cycle here. So yeah, we're just gonna A1. Like I said, it doesn't really matter if they die. So we're pretty close to death, but it doesn't really matter if they die because they're just gonna get revived. As long as they've taken enough turns to get back their main abilities. Alright, wasn't sure what happened. I think I hit the pause button by accident and then I kept going. But basically I quit the run shortly after. I didn't want to do it again. So this is the original clear that I had. Like I said, I used Shamrock. Not necessary. Shamrock gives you some extra protection with his revive on death, but that's really hard to time. He also gives you increased speed so you can get some more cycling back. But it was an 18-minute run. Probably would have been like maybe like 14 minutes if I was doing it a little bit more focused. But it was very safe. Like I said, Pythion, very, very good. If you had 2 Ugos, that could kind of work too, because the Ugos give more healing. So it would just make sure your Pythion survives. But that's the big thing. You just want your Pythion to survive the big AoE so that he can team revive, and then you can place your HP burn and do damage. You'll slowly chip away at the Sand Devil and then end up beating him. All right, guys. So it's not too bad, but obviously you have to understand the mechanics of the boss. Like I said, Ugo, my Ugo's in Relentless. It's actually low on accuracy. Like I said, 375 is what you need. Here's my Mordecai again. I do have War Master on my Ugo. War Master puts out a little bit more damage if you have them. Shamail, and War Master. Shamail and War Master. Relentless is not that good against Sand Devil because you'll start triggering his sleep. You'll wake him up a bit prematurely or unexpectedly, so it's not really the best. If you guys have Shamrock, you guys try him out. He's in Relentless. These are like builds I didn't touch. These are totally builds I didn't touch. Even the accuracy on these guys are a little bit low. War Master here. I did try Ramontu. I don't think he was that good. He places the debuffs, but yeah, I think it's a little bit too many hits. I think it was a little bit too many hits. In terms of, yeah, Cupidus would work if you guys need a Cupidus. If you guys have anybody with a 6-star Brimstone, bring that. 6-star Brimstone will probably be faster in HP burn. But yeah. So anyways, hopefully you guys have Pythion. He makes it a lot easier. If not, you might need to rely on some kind of revive on death strategy, although I don't think there is any viable revive on death strategies with this restriction. So it would be quite difficult, but you definitely need some healing. Ugo is probably super important as well, just because she brings the team heal as well, and also cleanse is very nice. But yeah, anyways guys, hopefully it was helpful for you guys. Let me know in the comments below how you guys are doing, if you guys have made it to Soulcross yet. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.